Hello and welcome to week 7 of the Cube. Happy New Year to you guys if you're watching this when it first came out. Best of luck to everyone in 2014, and let's get into it. So again, yeah, this was week 7. It was the explosive squat day. Started off on Monday here. If you look at the Cube on paper, I'm not sure if it's available or not without purchasing the ebook, but if you look at the Cube on paper, you'll see that you have explosive days, on squat every 3 weeks, but the reps will definitely decrease, and the maybe not on explosive days, but the intensity does increase. So I think my first explosive day was like 295 for like 8 sets of 3, and then it was I want to say 3 sets of 2 or something like that at 315, and now it's 335. So about a 20-pound jump each 3 weeks with the explosive days, and you kind of see that throughout the program no matter what the day is. I did all of these belt lists as well, which definitely makes it quite a bit harder, even though I usually wouldn't belt up for 335. That's a pretty lightweight. I really don't use 335 for almost anything anymore. But then I did belt up for this last set to kind of prepare for my heavy high bar squats that I had. I noticed it could be quite a big difference here. Overall, it felt pretty good. It didn't feel explosive. I can't expect 335 with my level of strength right now to feel explosive. But nonetheless, I kind of treat it like technique work. This was really interesting. This was I think my previous best high bar was 340 for a double. So this was a big PR, 345 for a triple. I noticed, and it's really easy to see, especially on these second and third reps, my bracing is really, really off. And you see these last 2 squats are very, very ugly as far as especially for a high bar with my torso. You see that I kind of like round my back and then come back and then extend again. And I'm actually really pleased that these squats here, this is the second set, just stuck the same weight, try to hit another triple, was much, much better. You see my torso at least being more rigid, even if it comes forward, not a huge problem, but I don't want to see a round in my upper back. That's just a really, really poor technique. So you can see I kind of fight that here a lot more. And again, that 345, it's a 5-pound PR and also a 1-rep PR for 2 sets. So I'm really pleased with that. High bar is feeling really, really good lately. And finished off with just some pause squats. Pause squats have felt really good as well. This was, I think my previous best was 315 for 4. And I knew I had 5 in my tank that day, so I went ahead and hit 5 today. These were not easy though. Again, my pause squat strength has shot up quite. Like I was saying, my pause squat strength has came up quite a bit, especially from those first few weeks, but that can be expected if I'm going to, I never really did pause squats consistently, and now doing them once a week, it helps quite a bit. I'm not sure the layover is going to give to my actual squat. Again, if you've watched the previous videos, my squats haven't been going incredibly well, just kind of like hot and cold, which again can be expected from time to time. But overall, I was really pleased with this session as opposed to that one set of high bar was kind of crappy. Other than that, pretty dang good. With squats for me, it's kind of take care of my hips right now, and then kind of make a decision on high bar or low bar for next training cycle, and also probably work on bracing a little bit more, some planks and other movements like that, other anti-extension movements I like to do for abs, and make sure I'm not skipping out on those. That seems to be a problem for me, at least during that one set. And then I just kind of finished it off with some typical assistance work. I love to have a glute ham raise, but I don't have access to that at the moment, so I do some normal back extensions, and I'll use kind of like some lead FTS bands for it, and really try to pause at the top. Again, great for my hamstrings here.
Looking up in the sky, I said I love watching you elevate, get high as you ever been. We getting hella big, ball so hard, I deserve me a letterman. I let me see that cake, like Enemy's ass up, gon' take it down like a sedative. That's a negative, ain't nobody wetter than.
So gearing up for the bench rep day, like I kind of said in the last clip, definitely going to be decreasing your reps even on the rep days for the most part. I think my first session was like 8 to 12 reps. I think this was 3 to 5 if I'm not mistaken. So again, it's the same kind of concept. You're getting a lot of rep work in, but the reps are going to be quite a bit different. And that's how a lot of training cycles are set up, where it's like a linear periodization of the volume's kind of high at the beginning, and the volume will start to decrease as intensity increases. That's kind of like the first form of periodization there ever was, and the Cube kind of takes advantage of that. So I had 3 sets, I believe, of 3 to 5 reps here. These felt pretty good. Again, how hard you can really push it without a spotter when you're going for like a PR on bench press is, kind of crappy, but that 230 for 5 is pretty dang close to a PR. It may be a PR. I may have hit 235 for 5 in the past, but pretty dang close. And again, bench press is always a little bit more of a struggle for me. I was pretty happy with that. I was also kind of feeling just a strange, I can't even really describe the feeling I was having in my biceps, but I've had this before. I remember when I ran Small Op Junior and I was just doing insane high volumes of bench press, just squeezing the bar, kind of creating external rotation. It didn't like really hurt my biceps. You can kind of see on a lot of these sets that my arms just kind of like shaking, even like the first few reps, just trying to stabilize the weight. So again, I've talked about this. You can see it really bad there on a close grip bench. But I've talked about this in my last few videos, just hitting like 1 or 2 movements, 5, 10, max maybe 15 minutes of stretching. You can do more. I just choose not to. But that, a good amount of stretching, mobilization, soft tissue work, something like that, after my training session has helped me recover a lot. So I just kind of did some foam rolling on my biceps. I did some more like lat stuff. I think I just did some hamstring crap because it's always kind of tight for me. But overall, bench press went pretty well. Pretty much hit my numbers exactly what I was going to. Not sure if I PR'd or not. Maybe capable of. I had a spotter, but overall it went pretty well. And then I wanted to work. I also trained abs on my bench press day. The cube actually calls for that. I wanted to work on some bracing stuff. So this is only 1 set here. I typically do planks weighted, and I tried to you see the plate there. I tried to mess with it, but I really couldn't without someone helping me. But yeah, working on my bracing a lot more since those squats on Monday weren't ideal for me, and I've been kind of lagging on the anti-extension stuff. I've been a little bit more of extension, so working on some planks on Tuesday. And finally, this was deadlift day. This was just yesterday for me, January 2nd, Thursday. This went really, really well. Kind of have some warm-up sets for you guys here. This 365 for a single. Again, the final 3 weeks of the cube have you hitting like 92.5%, 95%, 97.5% of your 1 rep max. I'll probably talk about the way that I actually set up the cube, but again, I'm treating these last few weeks kind of like a PR tester. So this was my PR. I wasn't incredibly happy with the form. But again, if it's a 20-pound PR, that's a huge, huge PR for me. I can't expect it to look perfect. That's kind of the definition of a PR. Overall, really, really well. That's a 20-pound PR in about 6.5, 7 weeks of the cube. And then afterwards, I've kind of played around with some sumo kind of form work here. I'll probably have to stop wearing my shoes with sumos, but overall, that went really, really well. And yeah, I was really pleased to end the week, at least the cube week for me, with that 20-pound PR. Again, that's almost 10 pounds of my first goal of 2014. So yeah, that was this week, guys. I got some other kind of footage for you. I also want to kind of just talk over this grip work that I did, new kind of grip work that I worked on after those pulls. I think I did some pull-ups as well. I just kind of sporadically did this. I think I've seen some other people do this before, but again, just kind of holding these for like 30 to 45 seconds. Kind of mix up from dumbbells. But yeah, that's it, guys. I got week 8 coming up next. I believe it is max effort for my bench press day, so hopefully I can get a spotter there and try to hit paused PR there, and then you see the kind of the rest of the workout. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next week. Take care.